Ezekiah Ochuka was a senior private in the Kenyan Air Force who claimed to have ruled Kenya for about 6 hours after attempting a coup against President Daniel Arap Moi. The early life and career of Hezekiah Ochuka. Ochuka of the Luo Nation was born in Nyakach, Kisumu district after attending Naki Kabete Primary School and Mirogi Secondary School. Ochuka was recruited into the Kenyan Air Force on 14 September 1976 in Mombasa. Hezekiah was raised by a single mother and his 3 older brothers. Being mostly around men, while his mother was working hard jobs to support the family, Hezekiah was always impressed by masculinity. He underwent 8 weeks of military training at Lanet Army Barracks in Nakuru and was posted to Eastleigh Air Base. Between 1976 and 1978, he underwent basic training and learned about electrical devices and instruments, and worked in hangars and bays. From 30 October 1978 to 21 January 1980, he attended a course in RAF Cosford, UK, after which he worked as a senior private grade 1, the second lowest rank in Kenya's military. Hezekiah Ochuka's motivation behind leading the 1982 coup attempt in Kenya appears to have stemmed from dissatisfaction with President Daniel Arap Moi's government, which he and his conspirators saw as corrupt, oppressive, and discriminatory. Ochuka, a senior private in the Kenyan Air Force, leveraged the frustrations of fellow low-ranking Air Force personnel, rallying them under promises of economic improvements and greater opportunities, particularly for Kenya's marginalized groups. His agenda resonated with some of the Kenya's populace, including university students who openly supported the rebellion. However, Ochuka and his supporters were ultimately seeking to dismantle Moi's rule and address their grievances regarding the lack of opportunities and perceived unfair treatment within the military ranks. On August 1, 1982, Ezekiah Ochuka and his loyalists took action. Military barracks were attacked, radio stations seized, and Ochuka declared himself the leader of the Republic of Kenya.
Watu kama 20 bwana, maskari kama 20 wale wa Air Force tukaingia nao pale. Sasa mimi sikujua kwamba yule jamaa alikuja pale Ngara kunichukua na aliniuliza kama mimi ndiye Leonard Mambo Botela. Kumbe alikuwa ndiye mwenyewe Hezekiah Ochuka, na yeye ndiye alikuwa kiongozi wa wale ambao wanapindua serikali, yani co-leader, alikuwa ni co-leader. Tukaingia studio kabisa. Sasa akachukua karatasi na kalamu akaandika notes zake pale, akaniambia soma hivi. Ndio nikasoma. Hamjambo wananchi, mimi ni Leonard Mambo Botela, hii ni sauti ya Kenya, na wafahamisha kwamba serikali ya mzee Daniel Arap Moi imepinduliwa, na hapa nilipo niko na bwana Hezekiah Ochuka na viongozi wengine. Kwa hivyo anasema ya kwamba tulie majumbani, kila mtu akae majumbani, mahabusu wote wafunguliwe, na polisi ni raia. Polisi wote ni raia, wananchi msitange, tulieni tu nyumbani, na mengi mtafahamishwa baadaye. Basi nikaendelea kutangaza tangazo hilo. Baada ya dakika 10 akaniambia soma tena, dakika 10 soma tena, na palikuwa na muziki pale. Sasa wao wali insist, yani walitaka mimi nicheze muziki wa jeshi. Nikamwambia muziki wa jeshi mimi nitatoa wapi? Sasa ilikuwa na LP moja ile ya Tabule, ilikuwa ikisema ikimba baby touch me, baby touch me, baby touch me. Hiyo sasa ndio ilikuwa ikiendelea.
Ochuka and a small group of delusioned officers began plotting what would become one of the most audacious coups in Kenyan history. Their goal, to overthrow Moi's government and establish military rule.
Baada ya nusu saa mmoja wao sasa wa hawa rebels, hawa viongozi ambao walikuwa wanapindua serikali, akaja mbio bwana, akawaambia wale wenzake, mimi hakuniambia chochote, nilisikia tu akisema colleagues. Akasema, yes, what is happening? Akasema, we are being attacked by the loyal forces. Yani wenzangu, yale majeshi ya usalama ya serikali yamefika hapa kukomboa serikali. Waliposikia namna hiyo lilo tangazo, wakatawanyika wote, wakaniacha peke yangu pale ndani ya studio. Niko peke yangu. Bila kuniambia kitu, waliambiana tu wenyewe kwa wenyewe na wakatoroka wakaenda zao. Mimi nikabakia peke yangu pale. Hai. Sasa mimi nikasema hapa nikikuta peke yangu, na unajua wakati huo pia studios zilikuwa zimejaa students kutoka chuo kikuu cha Nairobi, na walikuwa wakishout bwana, wakichant power power, wamejazana pale. Nakwambia ndugu yangu, wale wote waliuawa ma students pale. Mimi sasa akili kana mimi nikete hapa, hawatajua mimi ni studios ama ni nani, au pengine wanafikiri mimi ni mmoja wale majambazi. Nikatoka nikawacha ile studio, nikaingia katika mojawapo ya studio zetu pale, nikajificha chini ya meza, kaketi pale kwa muda wa saa nzima kimya. Ule muziki niliuacha pale pale ukiendelea, kaketi pale nikiomba Mwenyezi Mungu, Mungu nisaidie maisha yangu. Baada ya saa moja nikainuka polepole, palikuwa na mlango ambao una kioo cha glasi. Nichungulia na kama ni General Mahmud anakuja na maafisa wenzake wa jeshi la nchi kavu kuja mbio. Nikasema Mungu acha nitoke. Nikatoka pale kwenye studio, nikainua mikono juu, kasema mimi ni Leonard Mambo Mbotela, nafanya kazi hapa. Sasa palikuwa na askari mmoja ambaye alikuwa pale pale mlangoni pa kuingia katika studio yetu ya idhaa ya Kiswahili. Akaniambia, wewe ni nani? Nikamwambia ni Mambo Mbotela. Na alikuwa ameshanilenga, nakwambia alikuwa amenilenga, kaniita, kaenda. Wapi ID yako? Kwa bahati nzuri nilikuwa nayo, nikamuonyesha. Akasema mimi ningeua mtu ambaye nilitamani sana kumuona sana. Mimi natoka Lodwa kusaidia hii mambo hii. Sasa tukizungumza hivyo, General Mahmudi ashafika. Iwa hema kabisa. Alikuwa yanifahamu. Akaniambia, Leonard, nikamwambia, yes sir. Get in the studio quick. Nikamwambia, yes sir. Sema kwamba everything is under control. Walikuwa ni vijana tu walevi, wamelewa nini, hawana chochote, hata kupindua serikali, hawana ujuzi wowote. Watu wote wakae mtulia nyumbani mpaka tutakapotangaziwa tena, lakini everything is under control. Sema, taja mimi General Mahmud na wenzangu hapa. Kawataja wananchi wa Kenya, ni mimi tena yule Leonard Mambo Mbotela. Niliwaambia kwamba serikali mpinduliwa. Nimerudi tena papa hapa kuambia kwamba mambo ni mazuri, mambo ni shwari, msitie wasiwasi, kaeni nyumbani mtulie. Niko naye hapa General Mahmud pamoja na afisa wengine, wameshakomboa serikali. Nchi inaendelea vile vile, msitie wasiwasi. Kaeni majumbani mpaka mtakapotangaziwa baadaye. Tafadhali msitoke nje, kaeni majumbani tu mpaka mtakapotangaziwa baadaye.
First of all was to capture the place. And when I captured it, when cleared everything, that's the time I now communicated back to the headquarters to find out what else. That's the time I realized the president was safe. Of course, the cabinet people are scattered, and so the main concern, first of all, was the president.
But what Ochuka and his group hadn't anticipated was a swift and overwhelming response from loyalist forces. Within 6 hours, the coup was crushed.
Ya Kenya, nataka niseme kwamba yale yaliyotokea leo asubuhi kwa muda mfupi ililetea wananchi wasiwasi mwingi.
Definitely that things were not rosy, and he knew things could easily turn against him, and therefore he went flat out to consolidate power at whatever cost.
The coup provided him with an opportunity to do away with all the kingmakers, and the kingmakers here included Njonjo, who was very critical. It included the likes of Kamodo, who helped him consolidate his regime, the likes of Gigi Karaoke, except for Mwai Kibaki, his only man who survived. And subsequent upon, after the election, what happens is that we have this traitor issue with Charles Njonjo.
After the coup's failure, a massive crackdown followed. Hundreds of soldiers were arrested, and Ezekiah Ochuka fled to Tanzania. But his time in exile was short-lived.
aircraft flying all over our places. So I had an interest to join the place and feel the excitement of the fighter jets. So as I was training, I was eagerly waiting for me. And that was the time when the Air Force was becoming very famous. I really wanted to prove that I was capable and meeting my expectation or my hope in life to serve my country.
When I was amongst the people selected, I was very, very happy because that is a career that I have had loved throughout my life. Being taken to Lanet, we immediately started training, and we did our training for about 7 months, and there was a pass-out parade. And I was posted to Isili. The rest of my guys were posted to Nanyuki. Some of them are posted to Rajia. I was posted to a section called CSD. That means Central Supply Depot. And I was going to train as a supplier. And before that, there was the then President Moi was going to be the chairman, the first chairman from East Africa, chairman of organization of OAU. So I was lucky because we were fresh guys from training. We were the guys who were taken in to start practicing for parade of the Guard of Honor. And I think if you can understand the Guard of Honor, it's when heads of state come to visit our country, guards of honor are mounted. So I was one of the lucky guys who got that opportunity. And I performed the Guard of Honor throughout that year because the OAU was taking place in Kenya.
After finishing my basic training at Eastleigh, I was posted at Nanyuki Air Base. So that's where I was attached as an air traffic control assistant.
Then came this disturbance. It was on August 1st.
This is the voice of Kenya, Nairobi. Time now is 12 minutes past 6. You are hereby informed that everybody is requested to stay at home. There should be no movement in town. The government has now been taken over by the military until further notice.
I was just sleeping in my billet, that's at Nanyuki. As I was sleeping at around 3 in the morning, I had some gunshots. So after the gunshot, there was this station siren, there was the station alarm. And as military officers, when we are in the training, you are told that when you hear the station alarm, you have to dress up, you run the parade ground. From there, you are given further instruction. After hearing that, I dressed up, I last to the parade ground. On reaching the parade ground, I got people who are armed. They were saying that the country has been attacked. So everybody get armed. So I went to the armor, I took a gun. After taking the gun, we came out, we were told that guard the base.
When the coup was happening, I was in my house. I used to stay outside. I had rented a small house in Uruma. So when the coup happened, as usual, you have to go back to the barracks. I went back to the barracks, and by the time I reached the barracks, one thing, there were no guns. All the guns had been taken by my colleagues. we were told to wait for guns that were coming from we don't know where. So I just stayed in the barracks with the rest of my guys until the army guys came to capture Isili. So I got afraid, not only myself, but with some of my guys. We said we cannot get captured because we don't know what will be the next move. So I jumped over the fence and I went back to my house and I hid in my house.
The 1982 coup attempt marked a turning point in Kenyan history. It reinforced the power of President Moi's regime and also led to a significant change in the military structure.
Was being done or was happening to them. It reached a time that I was supposed to go for interrogation, and I was taken from the cells to the interrogation office. There I was asked a few questions whether I knew about the coup, whom we were with, and I told them I was a very young soldier. I didn't know anything. Where have you worked before you come here? Where did you work? And I had the sense that something was wrong. I didn't beat about the bush. I told him I was a soldier in the Kenya Air Force. And he asked me what happened. I told him, well, the August 1st disturbance cut my career. And I've been at home. That is the only place that I've worked. And he was not very much impressed. And he told me, you've worked here nicely. You don't have a problem with you. But I hope you've seen some people walk into my office and walk out. I have instruction that you cannot work here.
Ezekiah Ochuka's name is forever etched into Kenyan history as a man who dared to challenge the state and pay the ultimate price. His coup may have lasted mere hours, but its legacy continues to be held to this day. This is the story of Hezekiah Ochuka, his rise, his fall, and the coup that almost changed Kenya.